Students are starting homework tonight with problem 2. So for that, students are going to have to remember the symbols and their uses. So students may remember this strategy we talked about in class is that the opening goes towards, the larger number, or it goes away from the smaller number. So we say this symbol is greater because the greater number is here. This symbol is less than because the smaller number is there, and then equal to. The strategy I would have students use on each of these is to make them in standard form. So A is already in standard form. Students can choose to, on a separate sheet of paper, draw a place value chart. Place value chart looks like what's above here. They would simply draw the place values, and then they can place each number in there. Before they do that, with the expanded form or the number form, I would suggest that students write them in standard form. So for standard form, they're going to take each number and put it into its appropriate place to make a standard form number. So for instance, when we see a word form number, I tell students to chunk these out. So writing the number 605, so students would write 605. At the thousands, they put a comma. Then they need 908. So here's this number, and now they can compare. Here they have expanded form. For expanded form, they're just going to fill in each value. So they have 300, 50, 1,000, 800. Once students have done this to compare numbers, we always want them to start in the like place values. So for instance, on these numbers, they both have a value in the hundred thousands. We can see that this value is 300,000, this value is 600,000. So students would decide which is greater and then put the appropriate symbol in the circle. For problem A, the thing that they want to be careful about is making sure that they're comparing like place values. This number has an 8, but it's only in the 10,000s place. This has a 5, which is a lower digit, but it's a greater value because this 5 is actually in the 100,000s place. So students should put each of these values in standard form and then be able to compare them. On the next page, students are going to order numbers, and in this case, they're doing it from shortest to tallest. So same strategy, starting with the greatest place value and comparing the digits. So the greatest place value here is thousands. Students would look at the thousands place of each number. Anytime that they are equal, they're going to go to the next place value. So from thousands, students should then look at the hundreds place and see if they can find the greatest value. If there's still an equivalent or a tie, they then need to look at the tens place. So every time they're doing this, they're moving back a place value in the number. For problems 4 and 5, students are going to arrange the numbers from least to greatest. And again, thinking first about place value. Digits with a greater place value have a greater value. And the last problem, problem 6. This one is a really challenging one because it's giving us a word problem. So it says the area of 50 states can be measured in square miles. And then that gives you the California, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, Montana, and Alaska. And it wants them to order, again, least to greatest. So the first thing I would do is have students maybe make that place value chart. When they do that, they're going to need ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Once they do that, they can place each number in there, and then they can start to compare the values. Once they can compare the values, starting with the greatest value, they're going to write them in order from least to greatest.